So ladies and gentlemen, here we are with a new video here on the channel. This is just going to kind of be an update video here, talking about FIFA, talking about what's going on. Am I bringing any of the other series back? What's going on with the content? After kind of just sitting back thinking about it, I wasn't really happy with some of the series I was doing. It just kind of felt forced because sometimes I want to play other episodes than other career modes and this, that, and the other, and it's kind of been a lot of waiting around for me recently, waiting for Atlanta United to be put into the game. So if you guys don't know, I am from Atlanta, Georgia is where I'm currently in right now, in the suburbs of Atlanta, and we're getting an MLS team this year, so that's kind of been a lot of my focus. I got my season ticket. I've been trying to follow up with all the players that we've been signing. The MLS draft just happened. We managed to sign 2 players. We'll sign 2 more coming on Tuesday. So a lot's just been going on with the team, and that's just kind of been where my mind has been at. And I've kind of just been waiting for them to get into FIFA because I want to do a player career mode for Atlanta United. I want to do a manager career mode for Atlanta United. Ultimate Team, I kind of want to surround that too. I'm obviously going to be going to the game starting in March, maybe even February if I go to one of the friendlies. And I was just thinking to myself, why not make that what this channel is? So that's basically what's going to be going on. I'm not going to promise daily uploads. I'm not going to promise anything. I don't know when they're going to be put into the game. I've already been kind of playing around with a career mode with a lot of the Atlanta United players, but with that being said, obviously I want to wait until they're fully in the game until I start uploading that. So we're here. We're just looking right now at an Atlanta United-esque team. Obviously, this isn't everybody. There's a lot of players within the team that aren't actually on, that aren't available for the Ultimate Team because they're either in Brazil or they're just not in the game, like Kenwyne Jones because he was in Africa. Just a lot of stuff going on, and this is kind of the main team that you can build right now in Atlanta United. Obviously, the crest is available. We're still waiting on the kit to be put into the game. I would imagine they'll put in with the entire team along with the away kit whenever that gets announced. So looking at the team, we have Hector Villalba, Tito Villalba, depending on what you want to call him. You can pick him up for 950 coins, nice and easy. 74 rated right midfielder, but we're going to be playing him at striker at least until we get Kenwyne Jones into the team. He has 94 pace, and that 70 shooting is why he's particularly at striker. Realistically, I think Atlanta United's probably going to be playing a 4-3-3, but since we do have a smaller striker up front, I decided to play a more narrow formation and kind of just pass the ball around. Yamil Assad is a player that we actually just signed this past week before the draft. He's also listed as a right mid. Whether or not he'll play there is going to be interesting to see. He probably won't start. He'll probably honestly be playing behind Villalba, but he could also maybe drop back into the midfield. Peterson is most likely going to be our left wing. Last season, obviously playing for Sporting KC, pick him up for 350 coins. A high work rate. I think he'll definitely do well in a left wing, left mid position as well, along obviously with his right wing starting position. When you go back to the midfield, this man right here, everyone knows Chris McCann. This past season, obviously playing at Coventry, I believe Coventry City, but coming over, he was one of our first big signings that we announced, and he's definitely a player that's excited to come to the MLS, and we're definitely excited to have him in there. He's the type of player that can play in defense and definitely can also play in that CDM role for us as well. Also another center defensive minded player, Laren Towitz, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Probably not, but it's worth a shot. And then also our biggest name signing, the one that we debuted, the only squad number 4. He's our number 10. He is going to be most likely our center attacking mid type player, and that is Miguel Almiron. Also, very exciting player. I think between him and Villalba obviously are going to be our 2 stars right now, at least for now, if we don't sign another bigger name. We have Mark Bloom, back in right back from Toronto. He's going to be our out-and-out right back currently. Very excited to have him into the squad. He's actually a pretty solid player, and definitely I think is going to shine for us. We also have Zach Lloyd, another good player for FC Dallas. You know, FC Dallas, not the greatest team, obviously, in MLS, but they do have a few shining stars, and I think Zach Lloyd was a pretty solid pickup for us. Along with PARKHURST, he obviously from Columbus Crew, which I have a pretty sneaking suspicion that they're probably going to be our rivals. Everyone's saying it's probably going to be Orlando, but honestly I think Columbus is going to end up turning into more of a rival for us, but we'll see. Greg Garza, massive signing for us in my opinion. You know, he just got called back up to the U.S. men's roster with the change in management, so very exciting to see him. He's the type of player that can play left back, right back, center back. He can play all over the pitch wherever we need him, and he's going to be a very exciting player for us to bring in. Right now, currently in goal, we have Alec Khan. This is a very I guess controversial position right now. You know, we managed to pick up Sean Johnson, a goalkeeper, American goalkeeper, maybe the future of the goalkeeping position for the U.S. potentially in the future. But then we ended up selling him, trading him off for allocated money to NYCFC because we were supposed to get Brad Guzan in. But now over at Middlesbrough, Victor Valdez just got injured, so now we have Brad Guzan playing goalkeeper at Middlesbrough starting, so he's not probably going to come over maybe until the summer if he comes over at all. So now we're stuck with, no offense to Alec Khan, but Alec Khan. Obviously, we do have one more goalkeeper, but again, not in FIFA, so not readily available. The only other two players that we have on the bench that are currently in the squad are Ambrose, a left back from Orlando City, 77 pace, not too bad, but definitely could use a lot of help in the defensive realm. I think he is a little bit better than that stat gives him, but you know, MLS players are always going to be lower. And another player from Orlando City, the Englishman himself, Harrison Heath. Again, another player I think he probably is a little bit better than the game gives him credit for, but we'll see. He's definitely going to be a bench player for us and a substitute for sure with the power of the midfield that we have. Right here is Gonzalez PIREZ, which is going to be another, I guess, kind of the series that I want to get going on this channel. Is I want to talk about the players that we're connected to, and this is the most recent signing. Obviously I said Brad Guzan, and we've had a few others in the past, but this is the one we're currently looking at because center back is kind of a iffy position for us. We just got a signing from the MLS Super Draft, but nobody really knows how serious of a signing that is going to be. So we're just going to hope for the best. Maybe we can get this guy in. Honestly, I'm not too sure how I feel about him. As you see, you know, the Argentinian players are going to be hot and heavy because of our manager. It's just where we've been trying to grab a lot of our players from. So, you know, maybe he ends up doing well for us, but honestly right now I'm just not too keen on him being in our squad. So if we don't end up signing him, we go after somebody else, honestly I'd feel a little bit better about it. The other player that we're being connected with loosely, but I also don't think it's going to happen, is Michaelis. If you remember him from Man City last season, I believe he's over in Italy right now. I can't confirm. Actually, he might be in Spain. But that's another center back that we're connected with, but again, I don't really see anything coming of it too much. So we're going to go ahead and hop into a game. You know, this is just going to be kind of a laid-back talk. Again, just wanted to talk about what we're going to be doing in the series. I know this video is probably going to last a little bit over, so I'm sure you guys will be skipping around. But again, just wanted to, I guess, reintroduce what's going on this channel. I know I've changed it a lot, but I think this is going to be something really interesting. You know, we're going to be looking for talking about the squad and what's going on in real life. Every game that I go to, you know, I'm going to try to have some sort of video about it, whether it's a vlog, whether it's just, you know, some sort of cinematography about it. You know, I have a lot of friends that are going. I'm part of a supporters club for the actual team, so that will give me content along in it with itself. So again, there's just a lot of things that are going to be able to come from this team. Like I said, Terminus Legion is the supporters group that I am a part of. This is not the type of team that I wanted to come up against right now, but it is what it is. I am in Division 10 right now. I'm just continuing from that other Ultimate Team series that I had going on, but I'm just going to try to keep this as, I guess, Atlanta United related as possible on Ultimate Team. It's not always going to stay like that. I am going to bring some players in, some concept players that I think we should end up signing, like a striker, for instance, at least until Kenwyne Jones is into the team. And then obviously players that we're connected to, which is going to be happening, year round, obviously with the amount of different transfer windows that go on. The MLS has its trade period and trade deadline and everything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see everything that goes on. With the player career mode, obviously there's going to be possibly a moment where I don't play for Atlanta United anymore, but that's definitely where I'm going to start my journey at. And then you got to look at, the fact that I don't know what position I'm going to play for that. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be kind of whatever I think I can fit into the first team as soon as possible. So it's going to be whatever Atlanta United needs the most. Hopefully that's obviously, it's not going to be like a center mid position where I kind of want to play because of how stacked we are there currently. Realistically, it probably will be a striker, which will be interesting for sure to watch. I'm going to be talking this whole time, so I'm probably honestly about to lose this game, but I kind of accepted that early on. Other things, I guess, that we can talk about, the Brad Guzan stuff going on. Do we need him? Not necessarily. Do we need a goalkeeper? Absolutely. And I don't understand in any way, shape, or form why we got rid of Sean Johnson and sent him to NYCFC. He was excited to play back in Georgia because he's originally from Georgia. So I didn't understand that move at all. I mean, good for him. He's going to be paid a decent amount of money. I don't know if he'll be starting. I think he will be at NYCFC. But that was a perfectly good goalkeeper. I would have been happy with him even if we didn't get Brad Guzan. Maybe he asked to leave whenever we were looking pretty sure to sign Brad Guzan. But now it just leaves us in a position where we have two semi-decent, honestly more mediocre goalkeepers than I'm honestly thinking is necessary for us to survive. With a lot of the other signings I think we have, if we can shore up our defense and goalkeeper, then I genuinely think we can push for the MLS Cup at the end of the season. Not to say that we're going to win it, but definitely to say that we can, do something to make I guess a little bit of a wave in MLS. I think we're definitely going to have a better season than Orlando did. Obviously, a better season than NYCFC is going to be kind of hard to do with David Villa obviously winning Player of the Year. But, as a club, I think they could have done better. It's just kind of what happens as an expansion league. Our sister team, I guess you could say, in terms of the expansion of 2017, Minnesota's looking pretty good. I don't think they're going to be as strong, but they're definitely signing a lot of players. And that's kind of where we're at right now, is we just need to get more players in. I think currently we're at 24. We'll be at 26 on Tuesday, like I said. And then a lot of the upper management has been saying that our signings should be shored up by the end of this week. So hopefully come Tuesday, we'll finish out the draft. We'll get those players in, and then we can get some of these other players in. Upper level management. If you guys don't know, Atlanta United is currently actually the chief of operations, I believe is his actual title, is a person that originally was from Tottenham, which not too keen on, not even as like an anti-Arsenal or anti-Tottenham person as an Arsenal fan, but just as somebody that believes that Tottenham's not really run in the best way, in my opinion. I think they're run a little bit too much like a business, which just isn't the way you want things to go in MLS, because there's obviously allocated money and salary caps and whatever you may have it. At least until that's gone, there's no reason to run it like a business except for your own pocket, which again I'm slightly worried about. On the other side of that though, Arthur Blank is the owner of the club, and he's the one who owns the Falcons, and obviously they're doing well. Not to say that he's not our Lord and Savior either, because he's been known to make interesting decisions, but I definitely think that he's very interested in growing the team currently, and growing the city of Atlanta's sports teams. So I am excited about that. This first season is going to be interesting and a little disappointing when it comes to being a founding member and season ticket holder is the fact that only half of our home games really are going to be played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is going to be our new stadium. So we are going to be playing at Bobby Dodd. If you don't know what Bobby Dodd Stadium is, it is a college football field, American football field for Georgia Tech. So we're going to be playing, I think, 4 or 5 games there and then moving on to the new stadium in June or July. And I believe that first game is going to be against Orlando City. So it should be kind of interesting to see everything kind of bloom, I guess you could say, for the club. A lot of away games are going to be played this year. I don't think more than usual, but I'm hoping to get to at least a few of those. Definitely, like the Orlando game, hopefully, and then maybe even go to a Columbus Crew game because, again, they're pretty close in vicinity. Other than that, there's not many teams for like me to go to easily. Not to say that I won't travel maybe to go to another game, but those are definitely the most realistic for me to get to currently. So what else, I guess, is there really to talk about? If you guys haven't followed with Atlanta United, which hopefully I get more, interest in this series or these series because it is Atlanta United, more fans of the club start rolling in, I suppose. But the MLS draft just occurred, like I said earlier. If you guys don't know what that is, it follows traditional American sports in the fact that there is a draft before every season where you draft the college, the highest college scouts, I guess you could say, out of their college teams and into the professional league. So our 2 signings, pretty big signings. Like I said, we got the 2nd overall pick as an expansion team. Minnesota got number 1. We actually signed a center back that looks pretty exciting and is hopefully going to help us out a lot on defense. Not to say that we're too bad off right now, but we definitely need more depth when it comes to our defense, just in case of injury or poor performance or anything like that. And then our 2nd signing with the number 8 pick was actually honestly more exciting in my opinion because I've actually seen the kid play. I believe he's out of Syracuse. Actually, no, that's not right. I can't remember where he's from currently, but he is a midfielder, but is very much seen like a Christian Pulisic type player. He can play left mid, right mid, center attacking mid, striker even if we really needed to. If you watch the draft, then Alexi Lalas was saying that maybe he would best be suited as our number 9, maybe sitting behind Kenwyne Jones or playing in place of Kenwyne Jones. So that's definitely an exciting signing for us. Not to say he's going to be amazing day 1 and game 1, week 1, whatever you want to call it, but he's definitely an exciting player for the future. And that's kind of the thing that I'm most excited about with this club is I wasn't entirely sure how I felt about the entire team as a whole coming into it before any signings were made, before when the team was first announced. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it because I don't really like following MLS that much because there's a lot of teams that just buy the retired players or the soon-to-be retired players, if you want to go there. Like your David Villa, which arguably it was definitely a massive signing and huge for NYCFC, and I loved everything about it because David Villa is definitely a player that I admire greatly. But we've focused a lot of our signings on getting younger players, which definitely comes from our manager, Tata Martinez. He's Argentinian and he was the ex-Uruguay manager, I believe, or Paraguay manager. Sorry, he was the ex-Paraguay manager. So he knows a lot about the talent that's in Argentina and the talent that's in Paraguay's leagues. So we're getting a lot of players from there. We're getting a lot of younger players from there. So obviously not all of these players are going to be there forever. Hector Villalba, hopefully that we can manage to hold on to for a good bit and then maybe sell off for a decent amount of money at some point. Again, business isn't that big of a deal, but even if it comes down to a trade, trading him off for a better player, there's just a lot of things we can do with these younger kids that we're getting in, and it's going to be really exciting to see. again, which is kind of why I didn't understand the Brad Guzan connection, because I think he's nearing the end of his career. I don't think he's all that great to begin with. In my opinion, I just don't think he is. I think he'll do well maybe in MLS, but just in terms of overall, I've never liked him that much as a keeper. Even at Villa, whatever club he's been playing for over the years, it's just I haven't liked him that much. Sean Johnson, though, I've been a little more excited about, definitely, because like I said, he was going to be a hometown kid from Atlanta, Georgia. Just an exciting like return back home. It was just going to be a great time, and like I said, I think he's a hot prospect for getting into the national team at some point, and signing with us definitely would have got him there, I think, like Greg Garza did. But other signings, I guess, that I kind of see us doing, we're definitely going to go after another center back. That draft signing definitely wasn't the end for us. The upper level management that I was talking about earlier, they're talking about possibly getting a high profile loan player from Europe, which would be interesting. A lot of different players that I could think of. I'm pretty sure Miazga is still on loan at Vitesse from Chelsea's, because that was like one of my first thoughts, is maybe we were going to go after Miazga. But I believe he's still on loan, so I don't think that's a signing that we could go after. And then, but there's players all over that I think that we could definitely go over at center back, definitely from loan. And then they said that we're also going to get an experienced player. Experienced, obviously, is most often interchangeably used in the MLS for older player and almost retired player. But, I think that could be our Di Michelis, which I wouldn't really be all that mad about. I think he's definitely a good center back. I think he's a little too slow for MLS, going up against the likes of Josie Altidore, Giovinco, David Villa, even like Frank Lampard arguably is going to be faster than him. Just a lot of things going on with the defense is going to be interesting for us to see where we end up. I can't get a goal against this guy to save my life, though. But, defense is playing well, so that's one thing. Just completely beelining the conversation here. FIFA 17's been getting a lot better for me recently. Better with better teams, though. Like, I usually play with a lot of the lower, I guess, level teams. Playing with SD Ibar. This guy's diving all over the place, and he's still going to defend me. Swansea City, even arguably Arsenal isn't the top tier team. So I've never really played with the higher level teams, but I've kind of been playing online more often, playing tournaments with my friends. So I have one friend, he uses Real Madrid all the time, so I had to start playing with a bigger team. So I finally started playing with like a Bayern and Juventus type, and both of those have actually just made my defense so much better, obviously because they're higher rated players, but just the way I play defense has greatly improved ever since I did start playing with them, and it's kind of made my attack shittier. My passing's been there, even though you can't tell because I'm just doing the worst kind of passings in this game. But that being said, definitely been enjoying FIFA 17 a lot more. That was also kind of a reason why I just stopped recording, is because after that patch, it made the game harder, which is better. It made the computer a lot smarter, again, which is better, but it made me feel like shit because usually I can play on Legendary regardless of what FIFA it is and still win the majority of the games. Again, the fact the game is harder is better because I shouldn't be winning every game like I was. Like if you guys remember last year, if you guys watched the SD Ibar series, I was beating Real Madrid and Barca like every year. So, I get it. It's harder. It's supposed to be that way. But still, I'm totally going to do this and still not score. Oh my God. And this is why I need a striker for so many reasons in this team. Currently, obviously, playing with three right mids in my front three. That doesn't help me whatsoever. Hold up. Nope. It's not going to happen. Chris McCann? Oh my, that deflection was disgusting. Before this game ends and this video ends up ending, other signing that I was talking about, the The defense is going to be interesting. I think we might sign one more midfielder, but I don't think we need one in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, I think we're going to play a 4-3-3, and our 3 midfielders are pretty set. I think no matter how we end up structuring that lineup, the midfield... What? The worst shot of all time just came out of me. I'm just dumbfounded for where I've lost all track of what I was talking about because of that. I think we need to sign another attacker. That's where I was going with that. We have to sign another attacker. I think we need somebody behind Kenwyne Jones, even though we just signed that kid, and then we're signing all these other players that are younger that are going to be awesome for our youth development side of things. But we have got to sign another striker that's going to play behind Kenwyne Jones. I think Kenwyne Jones is starting regardless. Obviously, that was the point of us signing him. He's going to be an awesome target man in the middle for all of our pacey freaking players that we have in this team, which is amazing. But we need somebody else. Kenwyne Jones isn't going to last the entire season. I can guarantee you that. He's getting older. He will get tired, and he will get injured. It's just going to happen that way. Offside, that pisses me off. So we need somebody in, and this manager seems to be obsessed. I'm going to compare him to Air Japes right now. If you guys have ever watched a career mode from Air Japes, that man loves wingers. He will sign a winger regardless of what he needs because he thinks every winger in the game is the best player in the game, which arguably they kind of are. But that's just the type of guy he is, and that's the type of manager Tata Martinez is, or Martino, sorry. So it's going to be interesting to see what players we sign. Again, I just wanted to do this. It's like a 26-minute video. I don't even know how many people are actually going to watch this, but it's like just talking about what's going on. What are we doing? This is going to be an Atlanta United heavy channel. It's not going to be the only thing I upload. I may end up streaming something that's just completely from left field that nobody was ready for, but just mainly expect videos from Atlanta United games. Expect me to draw every game I play when I'm playing with Atlanta United. Expect a career mode, both manager and player from Atlanta United. That's going to be definitely exciting. Possibly tournaments and stuff like that with Atlanta United. There's just a lot of things that I think I'm going to be able to do with this team. Obviously just from like a third party, like not even connected with them in any way, shape, or form that I can do. And I hope you guys do enjoy. That's going to basically wrap everything up. The future is exciting. I'll probably upload a couple other videos here in the next few weeks just talking about players that we're connected to, possibly getting Brad Guzan before the end of the month. We only have 2 weeks left in the window, so we'll see how things go. That is going to be the end of this video, though. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me down in the description who you think we should sign. Obviously, using your brain a little bit, we have one DP spot and a decent amount of allocated money to use. But that one DP spot is going to be massive and basically telling in our season. So let me know what player you think we should sign, what goalkeeper we need, because we need one. There's no question behind that. But other than that, this has been your boy Malicious Raider, and I'm out of here.